So, hello guys, this is Eve's Diary by Akin. If you're coming by for the first time, subscribe, like, and comment below. And for those who are returning, thank you for coming back to watch my videos. I love you so much. And wherever you're watching this video, I hope life is treating you well. And I hope that it's a good morning or a good evening or a good afternoon to you. This will be the third part of my video that had started. And I'd like to conclude it here because it will be enough in three parts, and this is the third part. So I'd said that when I got to the end of my KCPE, that is my class 8. I did exams and I did well. So I joined high school. And after joining high school, at least because I'd gone to a boarding school, at least these things that I was going through started reducing. And at least I will just face these hardships when school is closed. And that was better compared to if I were in day school and I would have to always do these things and go to school. So I thanked God and I still thank God until now that I went to a boarding school and at least I was far away from home, and there I had time to focus on myself and my studies. And so when I continued with school up to maybe the maybe from 3, the first the first or the second term of from 3, my sister relocated back to up country, and therefore I could not continue staying with her. This was a plus for me, and I had now to go and live with my uncle. Yeah, and so that is how all these things ended. But before even all these things ended, I'd gone through so many things, and even coming back from school, we were not friends. It doesn't mean that when these things ended, we ended or we parted ways as friends. We were not friends. But I thank God because we were sisters, and meaning there was time, there was hope to rebuild our relationship. So when I went to when I joined school, of course now my sister had to do her things by her own, and she had to live by her own, and she managed because apparently I was away, and all she had to do was to take care of her home because that was her home. And even when I went to school, anytime I will come back, these things will still continue, these being mistreated and whatever. But at this point, I'd say I developed a thick skin. I did not care as much because I would say that at the end of the day, when school opens, I'll go. And that is what was making me happy because when schools reopen, she will not have any choice but to release me. But but all these things that she was doing to me was buried in me, in my heart. And even if I will look normal, but these things denied me happiness, true happiness, because my heart will I could not trust anyone. And one thing that my sister used to do is that when I was in high school, she never really used to attend my my needs even at school, to attend to my needs. And to my needs, what do I mean? I mean, she never used to come to school. Maybe there's academic days in school, there's parents day, because in school we had academics days, parents days, and maybe there will be a function that needed, maybe prize giving day. And that day, parents obviously will come to school to see their children or their girls. So my sister never used to come. In my whole life, high school, I remember my sister came to my school thrice when she admitted me, and then those two other times, maybe it was one academic day. Yeah, there were two academic days. So from Form 1 to Form 3, because I lived with her from Form 1 to Form 3, she only came twice. But that was her. I did not expect as much. And so, you see, these things, when done to children, I would like to say, because I suffered firsthand, I would like to say this. These things interfere with the identity of the child, because this child has not had anyone that truly appreciates him or her, anyone that truly stands for her. So when they grow up, they grow up with an with they grow up with with something in them that does not allow them to be free, to be who they want to be. And so I will urge parents, I will urge mothers and fathers, do not allow your child to live away from home. Do everything in your power to make sure that your child is with you, because your child does not have your child is not bold enough to tell you what she or he is going through in another person's hand, because maybe because of your relation with that person. So most of the time, children tend to keep these things in their hearts, and these things mostly may affect them in a way that they will start even to hate their parents. And maybe it was not your intention to have them live at another person's house or with another person's family, but children will grow up with crisis, with identity crisis, because they did not get to be children. They were not understood. Nobody understands your child more than you understand them. Your mother cannot understand your child, your sister, your friend, they cannot understand them, because the first thing that your child ever heard was your voice when he or she was in your stomach. So there is that bond, and once that bond is broken, it cannot be corrected. I'm not saying that my mom neglected me. Be- For her, she thought that my sister was good enough to stay with me. And even all this time that I was at my sister's place, I never used to communicate with mom. I never used to communicate with her. I never got the chance like to talk to her on phone. My sister made sure I could not talk to her. The only time that I saw my mom was when I was in class 7, and the next year I will go to class 8. And now I went to my mom, and I opened up to my mom and I told her everything. But at this point, my mom could not do anything because I was going back to do my KCPE. And remember, in this school that I was in, I was not paying school fees. So this was a chance for me to like to to get education. So my mom was, even if she wanted to help me, she could not, because my education was key in this matter. But I talked to my mom and I told her everything. I do not I did not hide anything from her. I told her everything. But because she is wise, she knew that telling my sister would bring me more problems. She she talked to me and convinced me just to go back, now that she knows everything, to go back and complete my exams, that is class 8. So there are many people who maybe are choosing to leave their children at their sister's place, at their mother's place. I'm not saying that these people are bad, but I'm saying that where there is a place that your child can grow, but they do not have the freedom to be who they want to be. They do not have the freedom to exercise their rights as they will do when you are around them. Growing up away from home would make most children shy off from doing many things, and they will not be themselves. They will not maximize, yes, they will not maximize their potential. And that's why I'll I'll I would tell to the potent, take whatever is there and eat and say, Mom, me, I'm not satisfied. Yeah. So growing up away from home would make most children shy off from doing many things, and they will not be themselves. They will not maximize, yes, they will not maximize their potential. And that's why tell everyone that your child is better is better with you. Yeah. When they have you around them, they feel secure. When they are away from home, it's hectic. Another thing, I had a brother in law, but he could not defend me. Why? Because my sister had told her that that was family matters. So, another thing to the society, if there is someone if there's someone who you're seeing, maybe they are staying with a child and you know it's not theirs, please, and these children are suffering, just try to help. You can help indirectly. You can talk to someone else who can come to the rescue of these children, and maybe when you involve a third party, you will not like you will avoid problems when you involve a third party. Another thing is, for for the sake of these children growing up with the right mental health, please, we should always, at all times, make sure that our discipline does not go overboard, because children of nowadays are so cunning. Yeah, and there's things that they do, and you feel like, wow, is this even my child? I thought I raised my child in this way. Why is my child going this other way? There are many ways to discipline your child. The first stage of disciplining a child, but I'm not a professional in this, but for me, what I've learned, that the first way of disciplining your child is talking to them, making them see the reality of what they have done. Yeah, me, I lacked that part. Nobody ever talked to me. I was always one minute away from being beaten, and it's not just being beaten for some for some minutes. It was thorough beating. I remember when I was in form 1, there was something that there's something that happened. There's a mistake that I did, and I remember my sister wrote a dose for me for 3 days. 3 days of beating. 3 days of beating, just because of that mistake. I was beaten 3 days. I will be beaten in the morning and in the evening, in the morning and in the evening for 3 days. So there are mistakes that our children do, and the first best way is to come to the level of that child and talk to them. Allow them to at least tell you something. Then after you've talked to them and this thing, you're seeing it continuing, now you can bring in the beating, but the beating should be appropriate. You cannot beat a child as if you're fighting with your age mate. So, if you liked my story, if you loved this part, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching part 1, part 2, and now part 3. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe, and leave your comment down below. What would you like me to talk about? Because this was part 3 and I would like to end it there. But like I said, it does not mean that I'm in bad books with my sister. Now we are friends, we are all grown ups. But I shared this story to encourage someone, to correct someone who is maybe who is who is not keen with their children, and more so I did this for someone to know that if you went through something, you are not alone. Yeah.